Hello everyone and welcome to the Tillotson T4 eSports series brought to you by alphalive. Welcome to round one of this 6-round championship that's being brought to you live all the way around the world. Welcome to round one. It is Whilton Mill International Kart Circuit which is going to be preceding our first round here tonight on the 7th of April. I'm your commentator Anthony Jordan and I'll be taking you through all the live proceedings that we're going to have throughout this evening. Let's have a look at the circuit itself. Length 12,000 metres in total, 12 corners, 26 feet of elevation change. That will of course be the run up into Christmas Corner, and of course established in 1991, so it's been around for a fair few years and has grown and grown in popularity, especially here in the UK. Probably one of the most popular circuits, if not the most popular circuit in the UK itself. A little look at the weather of what we've got today. Of course, we take the real world weather data that it is at the circuit in real life, and I am actually commentating from the circuit itself. As you can see there, weather it's a calm evening. There's no chance of any rain for us this evening. It's a light breeze, so all is looking pretty well for the racing conditions that we've got tonight. So drivers won't have to worry about that. The only thing they'll have to worry about is the other drivers out there. They'll have to there'll be quite a few of them out there, I think, compared to test run that we had not long ago for the server. We came back now live today, and there's over 20 odd drivers that we've got here tonight, so a fair few more than what we had previously thought. So excellent to see this many drivers who are joining us tonight. Now, of course, the karts themselves replicating the real world T4 kart out there, of course, running the TPP 225 RS engine. So nice, powerful 4-stroke engine. Of course, developed by Tillotson themselves and popular all the way around the world. And of course, there is people watching all the way around the world. Please do get your comments in. I can see your comments coming into the commentary box. I can see people already giving support out to Rory as well, or good luck to everyone. There's quite a lot of support out there for Rory itself. But yeah, do get your comments in. Let us know where you're watching from, and yeah, just let us know who you're supporting, and I'll try and get the comments out for you. Now, of course, we talk about this championship. It's a 6-round championship. Plenty of rounds coming up. Obviously, we're starting at Whilton Mill today. Adria will be round number 2. They'll be coming up in the April the 21st. Then we go to Krinenstad. That will be on May 19th for round 3. Zuera will be round 4 on June 16th. Wackersdorf will be on round 5 on July the 21st, which is one day after my birthday, we'll say. And then round 6 will round out the championship at Alhama on the 18th of August this year. So that's going to be a full season now. Of course, these drivers racing for a grand total of €5,000 worth of real-world T4 kart racing prizes. So a very big prize pool up for grabs, and of course an entry into the T4 World Cup itself as well. So quite a big prize. So drivers are going to have to really watch out around this circuit, because this circuit in real life is a challenge, and a lot of the drivers who talk about it, again, some of the real world drivers that race around here, you know, they talk about how much of a challenge it is in terms of the bumps and the curbs and everything like that. It's a real workout for some of the drivers, and it's not far off on this, because it's a laser scan representation of the circuit itself. So in terms of every bump and every curb, it's very close to what it would be in real life. The only thing that drivers don't have as an effect in this one is G-forces, of course. They've just got the steering and the pedals to negotiate while they do it. But the track itself, still very, very difficult. Now, of course, like I said, we are at Whilton Mill. You can't tell that I'm at Whilton Mill because it's just a white back screen. But yes, we are at the circuit here at Whilton Mill, based in Northamptonshire. Fantastic circuit it is. And again, I can see more comments coming in as well. Apparently it's a lot warmer sat here from Phil O'Neill. Well, there we go. Well, I'm glad you're nice and warm, Phil. It's nice and warm here. I've got the heating on because it is chilly outside. But yeah, we're all good. Now, of course, with Tillotson, we had the Tillotson guys come to Whilton Mill not long ago, and we caught up with Andrew Fallon. Let's see what he had to say in the interview that we gave him not long ago.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Fallon from Tillotson Racing. I'm a product engineer. We've been involved in developing the Tillotson T4 kart for a number of years. We're pushing hard in the UK market. We've developed also the eSports platform for our T4 series. So everyone at home can race a T4 kart on their sim. And what we're trying to do is create the bridge from sim racing over to real racing. And you know, for people to start in karting, the T4 series is the perfect platform for people to get into the sport. It's extremely affordable, it's a lot of fun, it's competitive, and it's a great way to learn and just get used to racing in karting. So we're here with alphalive, our eSports partners, and we're kind of promoting the link from eSports to racing, and also giving the guys an experience of the kart for the first time on track, because you know, it's always a little bit different going from sim world to reality. So I think everyone's having a fun day. Yeah, I mean, it's the jump from the rental kart to this is it's fantastic. You know, it's everyone that most of our customer base is that customer, and you know, or people that have raced before, and the two-stroke stuff is extremely physical and demanding and or expensive, and they come into this, and you know, the jump from the rental kart to this, the kart's so light. It handles so well. It's close racing, you know. So there's a lot of, I guess, everyone from rental that drives it, they always have a smile on their face at the end of the day. A lot of it, I mean, we're just trying to create awareness, you know, of the T4 series platform in UK, and you know, we're growing slowly into markets all over the world, and UK is one of the biggest karting markets in the world, and you know, we want to support it heavily, and we want to grow here, and you know, we see a long-term future for T4 in UK, and you know, we're just really growing the awareness.
As you saw there, Heat 1 about to take to the circuit in just a moment's time. Now, to get everyone a little bit into the knowledge of what actually is going to be happening tonight, basically it's going to be run as like a karting weekend would be. So drivers will have 3 heats and a final. Obviously, the heats will determine where they're going to be starting for their final, and then the outright final winner will get the maximum points at the end of the day. Now, of course, with the heats running, there will be 10 minutes long. Finals 12 minutes, so a little bit extra time, but 10 minutes in a sim race is still a really long time, because you got to imagine concentrating in a sim for that amount of time. I get around 2 corners in, and then I lose concentration and crash, so sort of straight away. So, you know, drivers have got a real challenge up ahead for them just now. Now, looking at the comments, there's quite a few comments coming in. A lot of people supporting drivers, and a lot of people talking about Dan and Moore. Now, I don't think Daniel Moore's racing in here tonight, but I do know Dan quite well, and he races at Whilton quite often, but he's not racing in this tonight, which is a shame. But we've got a great list of fantastic drivers joining us tonight, and I'm sure they're going to give us one heck of a show out at this Whilton Mill circuit. Now, as we're talking, 12 corners in total around Whilton Mill. It's a very fast-flowing circuit, but very, very technical in itself. As we look at the GVs here taken from in-game, which are, you know, absolutely fantastic. The representation of the circuit absolutely spot on with the clubhouse there. Even the stairs going up to the top of the clubhouse balcony, absolutely spot on, as well as the Marshall huts as well. You know, R Factor 2 and Kartsim, they've done a fantastic job in building this circuit, and you know, hats off to them. These drivers are going to be showing us what they can do around there. Now, in terms of grids, practice went out while drivers were practicing earlier on. I will say, I'll have a look at some of the times, because a couple of them are just driving out onto the circuit now. So a lot of people running at around the 50-second lap time, some in the 51s, a couple into the 49-second lap times as well. Now, obviously, very quick. It's very tough to get to those 49s on the sim itself, but you know, drivers working really hard around the circuit. So drivers will have to watch out for that one, as well as contact as well, because again, the difficulty in terms of real world and sim racing is that the one thing you can't do is check over your shoulder in a sim. So you know, you have to watch out for that one. You can't tell who is next to you, so you have to really be aware. Now, if you are using a VR headset, which you can use in rFactor, you can have the ability to check over your shoulder, but they're very vomit-inducing, and I wouldn't recommend those. But they are good fun still. They are very much good fun. Now, we talk about the Whilton Mill circuit. Oblivion and Crook, turn 1, 2 sort of area. Now, in real life, absolutely flat out. In this as well, also flat out. Well, it depends on the track conditions. If it's wet, you definitely wouldn't want to take it flat out. But you know, in the sim world, or in today's conditions, it will be flat out, and you know, drivers will have to really take care with that one as they're going through. Because again, side by side, standing start, because they are 4-stroke, they don't need to have a rolling start, which is I think a good idea, because rolling starts are difficult enough as they are in real life, let alone in an eSports version of it. So yeah, drivers will have to watch out for that one. But standing start, and as they go in towards turn 1, like I say, side by side, it's very easy to just get a bit too close. Rubbing is racing, of course, but you know, it's a bit hard to tell how close you are to the drivers in next to you. So that's going to make it very, very interesting. Now, drivers are out there for a brief warm-up at the moment. I'm looking at sort of times at the moment. Some in the 49s, I think a lot in the 50 seconds. The top 10 kind of separated by around 1.3 seconds at the moment, but of course it is only warm-up. Some drivers might not be pushing it, some drivers might be. It's you know, one of those tricky things that you're going to have to deal with at the moment. But it is Carly Atkins who is fastest at the moment in the warm-up session with a 49.670, which from what I was reading in the Discord chat is actually relatively quick for what these drivers are doing. A lot of the drivers are struggling to get into those 49s. Some were saying that they were hitting the 50, like mid-50 area a few weeks back in practice sessions that they were doing, and some struggling to get into those 49 seconds. So we could see a breakaway within the top 4, top 3 karts could break away in this one, but like I say, anything could happen, and they are random grids as well for the heat, so they are going to have to work their way up through that. I believe we've got the grid, so let's have a look at where people are going to be starting for heat number 1. Callie Atkins will be starting on that front row with Gillian alongside Kira Harris, and Henry Foote will round out the second row. Lewis Barker and Theo Lestrange will be starting on row number 3, 5th and 6th place. Flynn McClumpher and Luke Woodward on row 4. Nathan Maximum and Rens van Klugenberg on row 5. Aaron Melberg and Juan Cano on row number 6. Max Marston and Ronnie Smith on row 7. Daniel Kellier and Zane Khan on row 8. Rory O'Shea and Ty Cuthbert will round out row number 9. Alex Fleming and Joe Booth on row 10, rounding out the top 20 with Jensen O'Neill, James Bell and Joe Shade on row number 12, 23rd place at 23 karts in total taking for heat number 1. And if you're unaware of how rFactor 2 works, obviously drivers at the moment, they'll be on track for a warm-up session. The server will be, well, they'll move them across into the race and they'll be in the pit lane, and then drivers will have to manually put themselves onto the grid. So if drivers are not at their sim rig PC, however they're running it tonight, yeah, they'll miss out on the race. So they need to make sure that they are at the PC ready to join the session when it comes over. So it looks like karts at the moment, the session has been put into the race session, but at the moment drivers are on there. There we go. So now they're getting themselves lined up on the grid, which is good to see. Make sure you get your predictions in as well. Who do you think is going to come out on top in heat number 1? Of course, Callie Atkins on that front row with Jorge Julian alongside. Kira Harris as well, just behind with Henry Foote on that second row. And our pole sitter at the moment hasn't come out onto the circuit. Callie Atkins not hit that race button just yet. There it is. Oh, and now we've lost our second place driver who's just disappeared. Hopefully can get back onto the grid. There it is, all sorted. So drivers just getting themselves sorted out. I hope it's a warm-up lap that they've got, because a couple of drivers just rolling forward into the back of shot there. Everyone just making sure their settings are all sorted out and all good. So, bit of a steering check there in the second row, which is good to see. Kieran Harris, I believe that is, on the third place spot. So last car just in the dummy grid area. There we go. Looks like we have got a complete grid there. 23 karts in total. And hopefully heat number 1 is going to get underway very, very soon. So at this point they will have about a 30-second countdown. When that gets nearer the end, you'll hear the klaxon start to come in. And on that final klaxon, we will be getting going and racing. So drivers just final moments preparing themselves. You can still see there Kira Harris. Now that's either shaking the wheel or someone has their force feedback set up too high and they've let go of the steering wheel, and that's what's causing that to happen. Either or. All these karts on the grid, and hopefully we'll get going in just a moment's time. Again, ladies and gents, get your comments in. Who do you think is going to come out on top in heat number 1, of course? Here we go then. Klaxon's out. And lights out, we're off and racing, and some karts haven't even pulled off the line. Oh dear, it's mayhem in the back of shot. But there we go, 5 karts break away, and already it's just absolute pandemonium. A couple have already DNF'd as well as they come through shot. So up they go in towards Christmas Corner for the first time, side by side. More karts going off slightly wide in the back of shot, but a good breakaway then at the start. Jorge leading the way. Henry Foot's got himself up into, Henry Foot, I should say, he's got himself up into third place. Ali Atkins still there holding on to second place as they go through. Carnage at Ashby Corner just behind. Drivers making their way through into the boot though. For the first time we're here with Henry Foot. Out of the boot section, action further back. There's about 3 wide as they exit out of Pitts Bend there. That's a bold move in real life. I suspect it's also bold here. And battling for the race lead as well, because Carly Atkins breaks out alongside, takes the outside line here. Will suffer here through the exit, through the kink and Inkermans, but I think has actually managed to get that job done. It has indeed. So, down into second place, and now under pressure here from Henry Foot, who makes the move as well. Fighting back now is Jorge, back down the inside. Action further behind as well. That's Kellier and Maximin there, side by side. Some 2 seconds down the road. So everything looking like it's somewhat calmed down as one car glancing the barriers there. Now if that was real life, I can guarantee you that car would have been doing an absolute spiral out of control. Out of there we go on board here. Not sure who we're on board with. I think the 27 there of Kellier, and a spin in the background, 2 karts off. Kellier managing to get on top of the situation though. Now behind Nathan Maximin. Maximin going slightly defensive into Osiers. Under pressure here, and side by side now. Kellier down the inside, gets that move done. Kellier up into P3 at this moment. Ali Atkins has broken away slightly, gap of 3.6 seconds, so absolutely checked out. This is the battle for second place on your screens as we go through Crook and Oblivion past Fine Lady, up the hill now on board with Kellier. Right behind Henry Foot, looking like he's going to go for a move here down the inside in towards Ashby Hairpin. Gets it done, and Maximin following through as well. So Henry Foot now down into 4th place in one corner. Defensive goes Kellier. All the meanwhile, this is allowing the drivers behind to close in as well. William is closing in also after his issues early on in the race. Kira Harris there, still in 6th place. Closing in, Flynn McClumpher, 7th place, moving up. Ty Cuthbert as well, currently sitting in 8th place for Ty. Aaron Melberg in 9th place, Wankano in 10th. Quite a few DNFs at the moment. 3 in total. Lewis Barker, David Whitehouse and James Bell, which is unfortunate. From heat number 1, hopefully we do see them out there in heat number 2. Eyes on this battle for 2nd place though, Kellier and Maximum. That gap to Atkins has opened up even more now, fluctuating between 5.5 seconds to 6 seconds. So they cross the line. 5.5 minutes to go then. This is the battle for 7th. This is Kira Harris and McClumpher battling for that 7th place spot. Now go on board here with Harris. Again, just watching the lines through here now into Ashby. Very tricky braking zone into Ashby. Very heavy downhill section. Into Wilkins now. Very fast corner. Dab of the brakes here for Osiers in this sim. Okay, you want to avoid that inside curb. You can clout a lot of that exit curb there into the boot. A lot of inside curb there. Let the car run out wide. Use that momentum because, of course, these being 4-stroke, they take a little bit of time to get up to speed on the sim. So if you can keep the revs up, you're doing good. This is the battle for 8th place now on your screen. Aaron Melberg and Ty Cuthbert having a good little scrap. So we've got battles of 2x2 all the way down the field. Oh dear, and a little wide there from Cuthbert. Melberg looking like he wants to go for the move here. Couldn't quite do it there. On board with Melberg. Avoiding those curbs, both curbs there. So keeping the kart as calm as possible. Very easy to oversteer these karts. And you screw up all your speed and lose all momentum, but driver's doing well. Nick Phelps coming in saying, Anthony, say unban James from WSS. I don't even know what that means, but there we go. I'm sure it's a noble cause there for Nick Phelps. Back with the racing though. Still this battle for 8th place. Cut back to the battle for 2nd place now, Kellier and Maximum. Now, at this point, now they've got into a rhythm. They've not fallen back from Callie Atkins. Gap still 5.6 seconds on board with Maximum. Nice wide entry. Oh, a lot of apex there, a lot of apex curb. You saw how much it unsettled the kart there. The driver's got to really watch out for that one. Nice battle with 4 karts just in the back of shot there, going up into Christmas. They'll get out of shot now. And we cut to that battle here. Oh, we're back on board with Maximum. Now, it's the number 10 kart that I'm seeing there. That is Luke Woodward in 12th place, who are on board. He's got Zane Khan, Wankano in 10th place just ahead. Also Rory O'Shea. Jordan Upton just behind as well, and contact there as into the boot section. I think that was one wheel too many on the curb on the entry, and it just sends the kart sideways, and absolutely nothing anyone could do just in front. Here's a replay, so we go into the boot. Side by side, yeah, bit too much curb, and round goes the 28. That was Wankano from 10th place, now down into 16th. 1.5 minutes left on the timer. gap still 0.6 seconds at the moment as a spin there, as someone goes pirouetting off. Potentially Ty Cuthbert, not too sure. I believe it was Ty Cuthbert there, and then number 3, which is a shame. So, David, to answer your question, 2 heats and a final left to go. We're on heat 1 at the moment, so 3 heats in total and 1 final. The drivers will have tonight. Timer strikes 1 minute to go. It's the battle for 6th place at the moment, as drivers head through Ashby Corner for the first time. So Atkins still leading from Kellier. Julian, then it's Foot. McClumpher up into 5th place. Harris in 6th place, Cuthbert in 7th, Melberg in 8th, Khan in 9th, O'Shea rounding out the top 10. Battle here between Kieran Harris and Flynn McClumpher, battling for 6th place. In terms of best lap times out there, it does go to your current race leader, Kyla Atkins, 49.432. As these two getting very, very sideways. Absolutely side by side. Great stuff from these two. It's so difficult to race side by side on a sim, and just there as well. Rubbing is racing. Obviously, what we can see here is probably a little different to what they're seeing. Only by milliseconds, though. Checker flag goes out. And Callie Atkins will take the checkered flag. Kelly, I believe, has crossed the line to take 2nd from Julian. Henry Foot crosses to take 4th. Flynn McClumpher crosses to take 5th place from Kira Harris. Ty Cuthbert, Aaron Melberg, Zane Khan and Rory O'Shea, the top 10. Out there, of course, 23 karts started the race. We had another retirement as well. Nathan Maximin, the man who was racing up in that top section, unfortunately also had an issue, and unfortunately DNF'd from the race, 3 laps down from that one. Guillaume Valsec finished in 23rd place. Max Marston, Rens van Kulenberg, 21st place and 22nd. Jensen O'Neill going, finishing in 20th place from Joe Shade in 19th. Alex Fleming in 18th place from Joe Booth in 17th. Wayne Carno, after a spin from 10th place, still finishes in 16th place as well, as we see there the number 25 driving around the circuit still. Your race leader, Callie Atkins, at the end of heat number 1. 2 more heats to go and a final, and of course drivers will be accumulating points to determine where they're going to be starting for their final a little bit later. But until then, heat 2 is coming up next. Let's have a look then at the grid for heat number 2. After heat 1, Jordan Upton will be starting on pole position with Henry Dunkley alongside. William Vasek will be starting on row 2 with David Whitehouse. Joe Shade and James Bell will round out row number 3. Jensen O'Neill and Joe Booth on row 4 with Alex Fleming and Ty Cuthbert rounding out the top 5 rows. And Rory O'Shea and Zane Khan rounding out row number 6, 11th and 12th place. Daniel Kellier and Ronnie Smith on row 7. Max Marston and Juan Cano on row 8. Aaron Melberg and Rens van Kulenberg on row number 9. Nathan Maximin and Luke Woodward on row 10, rounding out the top 20. Flynn McClumpher and Theo Lestrange on row 11. Louis Barker and Henry Foot will round out row number 12. Kira Harris and George Quilliam. Carter Atkins, your race winner, starting at the back of the field, row 14, 27th place. So 27 karts out there this time around. So the few drivers who had issues in heat number 1 looks like they have got them sorted out, and they'll be joining us for the grid in heat number 2. Now, what you saw there, ladies and gents, was, well, pretty much a class act of sim racing of what you saw. If you ever been in a Formula 1 lobby on your PlayStation or your Xbox or your PC or whatever it is you play it on, and you always find that one bandit, I think we'll say, because there's quite a few bandits out there in that first one going into turn one. But hey, it's to be expected. There is a few drivers out here that have not had a lot of practice, of course. They've kind of just jumped into it straight away, which is a very brave thing to do, especially, you know, you could be used to karting in real life, but there are big differences between karting in real life and karting on an esports game as well. So the fundamental differences, drivers will have to keep an eye on that one. Anthony say unban Hardware Massey. Why are people banned from lots of things? I think let's unban everyone. Why is everyone banned? Unban everyone. There we go. There we go. Do keep your comments coming in. It is good to hear from you. So there we go. Now, an exciting first race on that one. But of course, last couple of years ago, I think in 2020, I believe it was, or 2021, we had the Tillotson T4 World Cup. Here's a look at some of the highlights of what happened at that year's championship. So, a good look at the highlights there of what happened last time that the World Cup was active and live. And, of course, drivers racing in this championship will be racing for a free entry into that championship or the one-off event itself. And what a prize that is, because it looks like an absolutely fantastic weekend. Drivers from all over the world coming together to race against each other in at one local circuit. So, an absolutely fantastic event. And one of you drivers in this race could be racing out there as well. Which sim racing software is being used for this? So we're using rFactor 2, not Forza Horizon 3 from James Greer. No, that is not. Why Horizon 3 as well? There are so many more Forza Horizons that are out there. But you went for 3. Excellent. Well done. Yeah, it's rFactor 2. It's rFactor 2, but we're using the kart sim platform that's based on rFactor 2. So it's a bit confusing, but I'm sure once you figure it out, it's quite easy to do. So about 2 minutes or so until the drivers will head to the grids themselves. Alan Harris is going, Kira only got the sim package today. Well, I tell you what, Kira finished, I think, around 6th place in that last one. So, you know, for the fact that I only just got it, fair play. Well done. We should do a F1 karting esports. Henry Gregory, no, Henry, that's just not a good idea. That's not a good idea. We so shouldn't do that. No, it's not iRacing. There we go. So, comment section is wild at the moment. Keep them coming in, keep the conversation. You're keeping me entertained as well as I'm sure the rest of you, which is all brilliant. Now, drivers are out there again for a little warm-up. Zain Khan is currently originally fastest at the moment, 49.8 out there in warm-up. So drivers, any opportunity they've got to get in more times, more lap times, more track time as well, they are doing so. I think we can show you a bit of warm-up footage. So this is warm-up, live warm-up out there. We're on board with David Whitehouse at the moment, the number 7 kart. Currently 1.3 off the pace, using all the track available to him. Through Wilkins we go. A lot of curb on that inside. Avoid the inside curb here. You can hit this second curb on the outside, but David chooses not to. Stays off it. Bit of dust kicking up there at the exit of the boot. One driver using a little more track limits than needed. Well, you can see the time marks off the track as well. Lots of curb on that exit. Oblivion. Past Fine Lady, up the hill now, in towards Christmas Corner. On the brakes now. There we go. Get it round. Don't lose too much speed. Keep them revs up as much as possible. Through Inkermans down in towards Ashby Hairpin. Again, using all the track available. Some would say that's track limits. But there we go. I don't make the rules on this one. I'm not enforcing the rules either. Otherwise, everyone would probably get a penalty. Here's a static shot just at the exit of Oblivion. So that's the run up to Christmas Corner. And again, probably the fastest part of the circuit here. Was commentating on the Whilton Mill Kart Club weekend a few weekends ago in real life here at Whilton Mill. And a wheel came off a kart at this very corner at full chat. Luckily the driver was okay, but he went skyrocketing into the barrier just on the outskirts. But yeah, an absolute nightmare for it. So more comments coming in. Double Dash Motorsport Media joins us. Evening, chaps. Hope you're well. Bring back Wayne R10. No idea what that means. I'm probably saying bad things now. I should probably stop looking at the chat because that's always probably a bad thing to do. Hardware Massey comes in saying, "Love Kart Sim, it's so good." Well, there you go. Many things being said in that chat that I just have no idea what they're on about. We'll have a look at the times though. Still Zane Khan fastest out there, 49.5, which is a very quick time. Callie Atkins though, 49.51 as well. Looks like warm-up has ended and we're about to get heat number 2 underway. You can hear the famous R-Factor 2 words being said there. And drivers will be lining themselves up onto the starting grid. And we'll get heat number 2 underway in just a moment. Again, another 10-minute race. Borderline nearly a reverse grid of what we had last time. Your race winner from that one, Carl Atkins, starting at the back of the grid this time. And as you saw, if you were witnessing heat number 1, the start was a bit of carnage. Just a bit of carnage. And I think drivers got it sorted out in the end. Okay, apparently it's not bad. Go on, Ty Cuthbert. Support from South Africa. There you go. Thanks, Dill. I'm not going to say your last name. I know you join us on quite a few of our streams, you do, Dill, but I'm not going to say your last name closely to what your first name is because, yeah, it's a dangerous thing. Going into dangerous waters. Saying that name quickly. So, drivers on the grid, just waiting for one last driver to get themselves onto the grid. There they are. So all 27 karts on the grid. Hopefully 27 karts can drive away without all crashing. It looked like some karts just lining themselves up and testing their steering inputs. So, the race getting sorted out. Karts diving in and off the grid very quickly. I suspect they couldn't do that in real life. Just sorting themselves out, of course, like we're saying. 6 rounds in this championship. We're at round 1, Whilton Mill. Adria is the next round coming up on April 21st. And I'm pretty sure drivers can enter into that one from now. So I believe we're going to cut back here, which is to my dismay. I was leaning forward, getting ready to go racing there. Looks like they've had a couple of technical gremlins, so the technical team just in the back of shot here at Whilton will be sorting that out and getting that race back onto the track in just a moment. But like we say, we looked at day 1 of the World Cup highlights. While we wait for the technical gremlins to be sorted out, let's go and see what it looked like at day number 2 of the T4 World Cup. Welcome back, ladies and gents. After the technical gremlins, drivers are back in a warm-up session, and hopefully we'll be getting the heat number 2 ready in just a moment's time. Comments galore coming in. Apparently I resurrected someone. That's good. Apparently I pronounced someone's name Danielle, even though it's Daniel. Well, it says Daniel. It's probably just my accent you're hearing, Hardy. Support for Kira Harris. Who is going to the Shadow Realm first? That's an excellent question. I'm sure many. And support for Ty Cuthbert there as well. Now, talk about World Championship drivers in this. We do have Championship drivers in this, or World Championship drivers. Daniel Kellier joining us. Daniel Kellier, not Danielle. I know what I'm saying. It's just probably sounding a little weird in your ears. Vice champion for the IAME World Finals is Daniel. So a very talented driver. And lots of talented karters in this as well. We've got drivers from who've been racing in the British Champs as well as UKC, as many, many more. So there are quite a few very talented real world karters in this race this evening. Support out there for Nathan Maximin, rapid eSports racer. Now, Hardy Massey, you could tell me how to pronounce someone's name by typing it, but it's still the same as just reading it on there. I'll try my best. If I do get it wrong, I do apologise, but... Kellier. Is it Kellier? There we go. I don't know. You're going to have to spell it out phonetically for me. Because despite common knowledge, I am a bit of an idiot when it comes down to names. So if I do say anyone's name wrong, do bear with me. Again, Hardy, you're just doing the same thing. You're just typing his name. It's still the same. As I can't, you're really going to have to dumb it down for me for that one. Yellow flags in Sector 1 in the warm-up, so drivers really pushing it out there. More comments coming in thick and fast. So you can see there the times on your screen. Zane Khan, once again, fastest in warm-up, 49.8. Nathan Maximin. Second fastest. So as drivers just warm themselves up for that one, let's remind ourselves of the grid then for heat number 2. Obviously there's been quite a delay due to technical gremlins. Jordan Upton and Henry Dunkley will be starting on row number 1. Julian Vasek and David Whitehouse on row number 2. Joe Shade and James Bell will round out row number 3. Jensen O'Neill and Joe Booth on row 4, from Alex Fleming and Ty Cuthbert rounding out row number 5. Rory O'Shea and Zane Khan round out row number 6. Daniel Keller, I'll call it. I'm probably wrong again, so Daniel, I do apologise. Please do let me know how you say your name. Ronnie Smith will be alongside. Max Marston and Juan Cano on row number 8. Aaron Melberg and Rens van Kulenberg on row number 9. Nathan Maximum and Luke Woodard on row 10. Flynn McComfer and Theo Lestrange on row number 11. Lewis Barker and Henry Foote round out row number 12. Kira Harris and Julian on row 13. And Kyla Atkins will round out row number 14, all on their own on 27th place. Right at the back, your Heat 1 race winner with a lot of work to do. Drivers now back on the grid. Hopefully, the gremlins have disappeared from the system. And we can get this race underway. No, James, they're not Forza Horizon 3 cards. Kelleher. Kelleher? There we go. I've probably got it right there. Daniel Kelleher. Thank you. AOG Racing. Much appreciated. No, Haramasi, it's not Daniel. Danielle. It's Daniel. There we go. We couldn't focus about that name all night long, but we're going to be focusing on the racing. Hopefully everyone's going to get themselves onto the grid. Couple haven't got themselves onto the grid. Because it's very easy to organise one of these in real life because it's just dump them on the grid and off you go. But when it comes to esports racing, of course, everyone's kind of on their own territory here because they're at home in front of a computer screen and they've got to make it work themselves. Looks like we've got the majority of the grid. One or two now just missing. Some would say internet connection not up to scratch, maybe. There we go. Got one of them back. Still one missing. Not quite sure who it is. Anthony, what's your favourite kart? Ooh, that's a question. What is my favourite kart? Well, now, I could be very risky here and I could start one almighty argument on the live stream chat, and that is what's better, Rotax or X30? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave that to you in the comment section. What is better, Rotax or X30? I do like saying that question. Now, I believe that kart that's missing isn't missing. It's just pulled forward. And I think they're struggling to figure out where reverse is. And unfortunately on a kart there is no reverse. But the klaxons start to go, and it looks like we're going to get this racing underway. It is green flag, off we go. Good start then from the entirety of the field. A much better start from Heat 1. 4 abreast as they go in towards oblivion. Oh, that was never going to end well. Oh, there's several karts off as they go screaming into the grass. Oh, dear me. And again, the concertina effect, I think. No, there's, there's karts everywhere. Oh, dear, it's a nightmare. Oh, and a spin there. Just, all on their own. The 21. That just shows. That was Mr. Bell there. It just shows how easy it is to oversteer these karts. Well, there we go. Heat 2 very much underway, and Jordan Upton is leading the way comfortably by 1.1 seconds already from Henry Dunkley. David Whitehouse in third place. We go on board with William Vasek as we go through in towards the boot section for the first time in Heat 2. And a spin there. Who was that? That looked like potentially David Whitehouse, because he's dropping far down the order. And I believe it was Whitehouse from third place. He's dropped right down the order now. So Upton now leading with a 1.4 second advantage from Henry Dunkley. We go on board fourth place. Right, as he dives down the inside of Luke Woodward there. In towards the Ashby hairpin. Now there's blue flags out. Have we already come to lap someone here? Not too sure. We're following the number 15. At the moment, fifth place, Julian Vasek. One kart going, well, grass tracking. Very common move there if it's all gone P-tong in the exit of Osiers. One kart spinning there with far too much apex curb into the boot. Potentially Max Marston there. He's fluctuating 10th place. Side by side in towards oblivion. It's a bold move, and all the concertina effect comes in one kart, and that is Vasek off the grass, or off the track onto the grass section. On board now with McClumpher. Lots of action up ahead. Want to avoid all of that and try and get past, which he does so, by the looks of it, maybe somewhat successfully. I'm not too sure. But Upton's still leading. But that gap's coming down. It's 0.8 of a second as one kart goes flying off the circuit there. Out of Wilkins, one off at Ashby as well. Still here following McClumpher, the number 19. Got the close company there, the number 2 of Ronnie Smith just behind. Getting heated up at the front though, because Henry Dunkley has closed that gap up to Jordan Upton. That gap now only half a second, as down the inside here goes Smith. On Marston, gets that move done, moves up into 9th place. more action a little further back as well. Who is that? Probably Theo Lestrange and Nathan Maximin. Obviously Nathan, who had a disaster in his first heat, was running well in the early stages. Managing to close his way back up in this one. So, Upton leading from Dunkley. We're on board with Marston's here. Got a bit of clear track ahead of him. This is the three battling just ahead. Smith, Fleming and Cuthbert. And of course, if those three start scrapping away, to which they are now, as Smith looks down the inside of Fleming here, gets it done into Christmas Corner. Very common place to get the move done. Oh, and I say, the Strangers just come up now as well into 10th place. Maximum down into 11th. Marston's also there as well. And a spin there at Ashby. Again, very easily done there at the Ashby hairpin. Upton holding on to the lead though from Dunkley. Kelly still there in third, from McClumpher in fourth, and off the track there going Henry Foote in the number 2. Looks like we've got a couple of number 2 karts out there, which is not helpful in any way, shape or form. Yeah, at the moment we're with Alex Fleming, the number 1 plate. Oh, there's a couple of number 1s out there as well. So this is actually Barker who we're with. So Barker in 16th place. Close company of Joe Booth just in front. Booth looking comfortable out there. Clipped a bit of that inside curb at Wilkins. That's Osiers, sorry. On board here with third place. Dunkley just in front. Very, very close. Oh, Dunkley a bit out of shape there. Down the inside, gets it done. Dunkley down into third place now. Now there's Upton just in front in the 19. The gap's around a second. That doesn't look like a second to me, so that could be someone else. Well, it might be a second, actually. I'm not too sure. Yeah, that gap's and half a second. Yeah, potentially is. Yeah, it was the 19 that whizzed past, so this is the battle for the race lead on your screens. So Upton's done a pretty sterling job. But at the moment, Upton looking like he's doing a good job in front. This is the 19 of McClumpher. This is a little further down in 5th place. Battling with Woodward. Woodward trying to go down the outside here in towards the boot section. Cuts back across. Takes a lot of that apex curve on both the beginning of the boot and the second part. McClumpher wanting slightly wide there. Now some drivers would take that as a normal racing line, and again, same through there. Again, trying to maximise the potential out of the kart. So as they go down into the Ashby hairpin, again, absolutely line astern. A little wide there once again from McClumpher. Woodward looking like he's going to be able to go for a move now. He's just checking the weak spots here. Two minutes to go then of heat number 2. Out of the boot section they go. Looks like McClumpher's got a bit of breathing space now from Woodward. Gap for the race lead though has closed up. Here it is on your screens. Kelly all over the back of Upton. Upton's had a good race so far. At the moment, second place, Daniel coming in thick and fast, looking for the move down the inside here at the boot. Can't quite do it. Goes side by side into pits bend. Oh, very argy-bargy through there. And Upton will have to yield the spot. Now we'll go on board with Upton as we go up towards Christmas Corner. Outside line, taking the optimal line here. We'll have the momentum through. Kelly holding on to that position though. A lot of inside curb there from Upton and losing the back end slightly. And there we go, just losing the revs there. And falling back into the potential arms of Callie Atkins, who from the back of the grid managed to make their way up into third place. Kelly are leading the way. Comfortably 1.6 seconds now is the gap to Upton. Atkins still there. The gap between them is, well, non-existent. 0.2 of a second. Here is the battle for second place. Atkins all over the back of Upton as they go in towards the boot section. Timer strike 0. Oh dear me, and too much of that inside curb. And Upton causes carnage there. But across the line, Daniel Kelly takes the checkered flag. Atkins will take second. Here's a replay of the checker flag. I think it was a little bit too soon there. The accident happened just before that moment. But what a race that was, all the way to the end. I think this is the incident now. So in towards the corner. Upton, too much apex there. And nothing that Callie Atkins could do but just go and cut the corner to avoid contact. And I think that's fair. I think that's fair. So, Callie Atkins, Dunkley, the top three then in heat number 2. McClumford takes fourth in the end of that one. Upton finishes in 5th place afterwards, and I think that's the karts failing to enter the pit lane. Now, the Whilton Mill pit entry is very tight in real life, and I think the drivers are struggling in real time. Now, at this point, we would go to nose cone watch. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a relative viewer on the Whilton Mill Kart Club weekends, nose cone watch comes thick and fast afterwards each heat. And that's where drivers would receive a 5-second time penalty for a dropped nose cone. Luckily on this one, I think the nose cones are pretty well attached to the front of these karts, and I don't think they have to worry about that in this one. So that's, I think drivers can hold on to that one. Sorry, Danielle, I think you've become Danielle now. I do apologise in the live chat. I do apologise, Daniel. It's not my fault though. It's not my fault. There we go. At the end of heat number 2, heat 3 will be coming up thick and fast. Do stick around. 2 more races to go. Heat 3 and the final. Welcome to alphalive, the live streaming service where you can be part of the action from home. You can watch via your smart TV, phone, tablet, or even your gaming console. We've got you covered. Just head to the YouTube app on any of your devices and search for alphalive. Here you can watch all of the events as they unfold, or you could choose from our vast library for those lazy days in, all in beautiful HD. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Well, welcome back, ladies and gents. Heat 3 warm-up is just out on circuit at the moment. If you are just joining us, welcome to the Tillotson T4 eSports Series. It's round 1 of the 2022 eSports Series here at Whilton Mill. Round 2 coming up on April the 21st at Adria. In a few weeks' time, make sure you stick around for that one. And I believe you can still enter in for that one. Of course, I've seen a lot of comments coming in saying, can you still enter for this championship? I believe you still can. You can enter in for the second round, I think, later on. But obviously, you've missed round 1. There's a bearer of bad news. We're halfway through it. So sorry for that one. Now, bit of clearing up to do on the live chat. Nick Phelps and James Greer, stop sending people to Forza. Alright, this is rFactor 2. For the ladies and gentlemen who are joining on the stream and are wondering what sim platform we are using the kart sim mod on the rFactor 2 platform. That is what we're using. That's the official word, not Forza. So pack it in. There we go. No, James Greer, I'm not going to say that. Right, okay, so like we say, drivers racing for a grand total €5,000 of real-world 2-4 kart racing prizes up for grabs. So, you know, drivers are really going to have to start focusing and practicing as well. You know, you can race on the circuits and do all of that at any point you want. You know, you can just create your own. You can go single player and you can do all sorts of testing and all sorts of what you want. Official servers open up, I believe, an hour before the actual event itself, and then, yeah, so drivers can practice to their heart's content. I'm just going to give up in the live chat now. Everyone's just throwing out random games now. I've lost it. I've lost the chat. There we go. There we go. Press F in chat. Screw it. Let's do that. F in chat. Let's see how quickly that fills up. So drivers out there for warm-up. Once again, Zain Khan, fastest in warm-up. .49.646. Flynn McClumfer with a 50.349 in warm-up. And of course, you know, drivers can just do as they please in this sort of session. They don't have to take part in it. They can warm up a little bit. They can get used to it. But, you know, some drivers wanting to get back. While we wait then, let's have a look at what it's like to do a full lap around the circuit. Let's talk you around a lap at the Whilton Mill circuit, because of course it is a very fast circuit, and we'll go on board here with a driver. It could be an AI karter for all I know, but we'll go through turn 1 Oblivion and Crook here, absolutely flat out, completely pinned through this section of track as we go up the hill now in towards Christmas Corner. Heavy on the brakes, bring it round. Clip that apex, bring it back over to the left-hand side for the kink, back over to the right-hand side for Inkermans. Down the hill now we go in towards the Ashby Heppen again, heavy braking. Don't want to use too much steering through here. You just want to hold the cart nice through that section in towards Wilkins. Again, avoiding that inside curve as much as possible, carrying as much momentum as you can into Osiers. Again, missing that first apex, clipping the second in towards the boot section. A lot of drivers hit a lot of inside curve here. This driver avoiding it into the second section. Let the kart drift out wide here, but not too wide, because you can get it on the grass just like that, avoiding that massive curb on the exit of Pit Bent and crossing the line. That is a lap here of Whilton Mill, and very good representation of the circuit. Of course, we are going into Heat 3, but the final is coming up after this race. Oh, apparently we're just going into the final now, so apparently it's just Heat 1 and Heat 2. And the final, so it is the final that's coming up next, I've just been told in my ears. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, stick around, because this should be very, very interesting. So I believe they've got enough of what they need to go straight into the final. So drivers are just sorting that out. so we can get this done. So, will alphalive ever team up with the BBC for coverage for this? Hey, you never know. Could do. If you've got a contact to the BBC, give them our number. Good team up. Should be good. Charlie King comes. I think the real question is, what is Anthony's British champ predictions for all classes this year? Well, that's a tough choice. I don't want to get my predictions out just yet. You know, I want to wait until the first round's done. The first round's coming up fairly soon, actually. We're only a couple of weeks away from the first round at Shennington, so it's going to be a fantastic one. If you've never been to Shennington, I recommend you go, because it was a very fun, fast circuit in the UK, right next to a gliding place. So when you're racing, and then all of a sudden you can just see a glider just shoot up into the sky right next to you. It's quite terrifying because it makes a horrible noise when the karts do go out, when the gliders go up in the air. But the hairpin there, very fast, and I think KZ2 will be racing there for the first round as well. And I believe Kevin McQueen is going to be racing in KZ2 this year in the British Champ, so keep an eye on him. And I think that grid has got a little bit bigger this year as well, so that should be an exciting one. So if you are joining us for the British Champ season, it will be live here on alphalive, and you can join us for all of the coverage of that this year. You'll be joining myself and I believe Henry Beaudette joining you for the British Champs season, so that'll be fun. But I'm not going to give you my predictions just yet, because one, well, I don't know. It's like Formula One, really, isn't it? You don't know until they start racing, so it is what it is. Yeah. So I won't tell you what's going to go out there, but I feel like James Gray, you are a nightmare. Yes, no, and I'm not that much of it. I am an idiot. I will say that I am an idiot, but I'm not that much of an idiot. So yeah, I'm not going to repeat that one. There we go. So warm-up still going on out there. What is it with esports racing and the live chat just being absolutely manic? You're all well behaved on the British Champs weekends when the comments coming in. There's a couple of people out there we have to keep an eye on, but majority of the time people are well behaved on the live chat. But this time around, you're being a nightmare. What about a kart race around Silverstone? Now, technically, there is kart racing around Silverstone, but that's superkarts. Those things are rapid. Those things, you know, about 130, 40 miles an hour, those things can get up to on the straight if you're brave enough, and they're pretty much the same size as these, obviously a little bit bigger, but a lot faster gearbox karts. So technically, there is already kart racing that happens around Silverstone. There's Wayne R10, who apparently I resurrected. I unbanned Wayne R10. I don't know how, but apparently I did. Joins us in the chat. I don't think I have any opinions on Birrell. They're a car. They do a good job. Birrell ART team do a fantastic job. They did a fantastic job last year. Obviously, we've got the Jade team as well, who run the Birrell chassis. Yeah, Oliver Stewart, who raced for Birrell last year. He's moved up into the British F4 season this year, so he's done well with the Birrell team. So there you go. Not really got an opinion on them. I think fantastic team, and I think they do a sterling job. Yoshi P1, Mario P2 and Luigi P3. There we go. Locally there joining us. That's their predictions for this race. Apparently I need to say Sauber will win WSS. Well, there you go. Sauber will win. That's all you need to know then, folks. Being told to say lots of things here. Don't know if they're good or bad things again. I'm sure they're all good. Well, warm-up still going out at the moment before the final. Zain Khan still fastest in this one, 49.649. Just actually gone slightly faster, 6.46 now. Atkins there in second, 49.7. 49.7 as well for Parker. So 3 drivers into the 49s. I'm loving this live chat at the moment. You're just all coming out with some random comments at the moment. It is all brilliant. Well, while we wait for the final to kickstart, we'll go back to Andrew Fallon, see what he had to say when he joined us at Whilton Mill a few weeks ago.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrew Fallon from Tillotson Racing. I'm a product engineer. We've been involved in developing the Tillotson T4 kart for a number of years. We're pushing hard in the UK market. We've developed also the eSports platform for our T4 series. So everyone at home can race the T4 kart on their sim. And what we're trying to do is create the bridge from sim racing over to real racing. And you know, for people to start in karting, the T4 series is the perfect platform for people to get into the sport. It's extremely affordable, it's a lot of fun, it's competitive, and it's a great way to learn and just get used to racing in karting. So we're here with alphalive, our eSports partners, and we're kind of promoting the link from eSports to racing. And also giving the guys an experience of the kart for the first time on track, because you know it's always a little bit different going from sim world to reality. So I think everyone's having a fun day. Yeah, I mean it's the jump from the rental kart to this is it's fantastic. You know, it's everyone that. Most of our customer base is that customer, and you know, or people that have raced before, and the two-stroke stuff is extremely physical and demanding and or expensive, and they come into this, and you know, the jump from the rental kart to this, the kart's so light, it handles so well. It's close racing, you know, so there's a lot of, I guess, everyone from rental that drives it, they always have a smile on their face at the end of the day. A lot of it, I mean, we're just trying to create awareness, you know, of the T4 series platform in UK, and you know, we're growing slowly into markets all over the world, and UK is one of the biggest karting markets in the world, and you know, we want to support it heavily, and we want to grow here, and you know, we see a long-term future for T4 in UK, and you know, we're just really growing the awareness.
Ladies and gents, final's going to get underway very shortly. Once again, chat, you're being an absolute nightmare, throwing out random names for me to say, but I'm reading them slowly and carefully in the coach chat, and I'm going, no, is a quite easy one for that one. But final is going to be getting underway very, very shortly. Do keep your comments coming in. We got lots of... so many chats I can't keep up. There are so many pages that I can't keep up with it. There we go. So that's all of that one. Right, like we're saying, 6 rounds of this championship. We are at round 1. We're nearly at the end of round 1 already. We'll take a quick recap of the first couple of heats. Well, heat number 1, let's cast our minds back to that one now. Start of that heat, well, it was carnage. There were karts everywhere. The second heat was pretty much similar as well. Also pretty carnage. But I think drivers did sort it out. They got used to it by the time they got to the end of the race, which is good to see. So they'll be keeping an eye on that one. Like we say, esports is a very difficult thing to do compared to the real world life, purely because you haven't got the G-forces, the feedback that we'd get from real world karting in the sim world. And of course, sim drivers have got a lot better feedback from that one. And you see, sim racing does breed good drivers. It really does. You've seen it in many cases where you've seen an esports series where drivers have gone from the sim world to the real world, and you can get fundamental skills from it. There is just that fear factor that you have to get over. It's all well and good taking a corner flat out in in an esports race where you can hit restart and try it again, but in real world it's a little bit different. So drivers have to get used to that sort of fear factor side of things. That's the difficult bit that they've got to get through. But other than that, you can learn circuits through it. You can learn racecraft through it. There are many things you can learn through esports side of things, and that's what we'll see here tonight. There are lots of drivers who are not done any karting and just joining us tonight. There are lots of people who have done karting and are joining us for the first time, who have only started playing R-Factor probably 2 hours ago and join us. But we are looking like we're ready to go for the final. So ladies and gents, stick with us. If you thought Heat 1 and Heat 2 was exciting, the final should be even more exciting. Let's have a look at the grid then for the final. Daniel Kelly will start on the front row with Callie Atkins alongside Flynn McComfort, and Henry Foote will start on row number 2. Ty Cuthbert and Jordan Upton on row number 3. Row number 4, Henry Dunkley and Luke Woodward alongside Jorge Julian and Zane Khan on row number 5. Kira Harris and Ronnie Smith will round out row number 6, 11th and 12th place. Theola Lestrange and Joe Booth on row 7. James Bell and Alex Fleming round out row number 8. Aaron Melberg and Joe Shade on row number 9. Row 10, Rory O'Shea, Liz Barker and David Whitehouse on row 11 with Juan Cano alongside Max Marston and Rens van Kulenberg on row number 12. Row 13, Julian Vasek and Jensen O'Neill. Nathan Maximin will round out the grid on row 14, 27th place after a couple of DNFs, which is a huge shame for that one. So karts on the grid then for this 12-minute final. And it looks like we've lost the live chat again. Everyone's gone berserk. There we go. So karts lined up then on the grid. Of course, they'll have this 30-second cool down time. Until the lights go out. I'm going to have a word with some of these drivers in the paddock the next time I'm in a paddock with them, because the stuff that they're saying on this live chat, outrageous. There we go. Going to have a word with you when I get back to the real world paddock. Going to hunt you down, find you, with screenshots. Sure that won't go down too well. There we go then. On the grid. Hopefully a few seconds away from getting this final underway. Kelly on the front row. Atkins alongside. Two very quick drivers there. McClumpher as well. Starting on third. Foote also involved. Ty Cuthbert starting in 5th place on this one. Keep an eye on Ty. Upton as well, despite that spin or crash he had. The end of heat number 2. Here we go then. Final underway. Slow getaway, but a good getaway there from Woodward. Up on the inside, much better start. Oh, spin, the 19, McClumpher. And more carnage. Well, we've seen those incidents before at Whilton Mill. one of the karts going into a realm that's not even the shadow realm. Let's have a look at a replay of the start of that one. So it was a half spin and kind of getting pushed round, and well, I can't even see the kart numbers as they went round, but we've pretty much seen that sort of incident at Whilton Mill in real life as well, so very easily done. A couple of retirements already. Dunkley, Fleming, retirements from the race. So Kelly leading the way. Woodward there in second. Upton and Foot battling. This is McClumpher on the back of Foot. Very wide there from Foot. Takes the outside line. McClumpher looking down the inside here at Christmas Corner. Gets it done. You got Harris, Bell and Maximin just behind as well, battling for 7th place. Here with Jordan Upton, 2nd place, under pressure from Woodward. Woodward with a lightning start at the beginning of that. As you saw, everyone battling away. Oh, Upton so close to that inside tyre barrier. Not learning his lesson from earlier on, where he absolutely clouted that barrier, which sent him in a violent spin. On board with Woodward, looking down the inside into Christmas, under braking, gets it done. Gets that move. Oh, that's allowing McClumpher, Foot and Bell to close up. Well, there's a huge train of karts now starting to form, and down the inside there goes McClumpher, and Upton goes round. And oh, God, crikey, more karts coming in thick and fast. I goodness me, well, it's lucky. Well, it's lucky it's not real life on this one, because that probably would have been a red flag. But luckily, no drivers were harmed in the making of this eSports series, so they don't have to worry about that. Another lunge there down the inside. Drivers going for lunges thick and fast here. Still the battle for 2nd place, though, rages on. McClumpher now into 3rd. Woodward into 2nd. Kelly now leading by 5.2 seconds. The outside line here is McClumpher. Trying to get through. The pack of 3 just behind as well. Atkins, Maximin, Foot. Closing in on these 2 as well. Daniel breaking away, though. Atkins down the inside, moving up into 3rd there. A very robust move. We're getting past McClumpher. McClumpher now discombobulated after that one. It's got the pressure of Foot, Maxim and Whitehouse has come through now into 7th place. James Bell there in 8th place from Joe Shade. Liz Barker. Kira Harris into 11th place. Zane Khan is in 12th. Jorge Julian, Ty Cuthbert into 14th. Gordon Upton, Rory O'Shea into 16th. Again, more side-by-side action here as Woodward has to take to the grass there as Maximin dives down the inside at Osiers. Maximin holds on to, or Woodward holds on to the place. On board here with Nathan Maximin into the braking zone at Christmas, right behind Woodward. Fantastic stuff here by these drivers, keeping it relatively clean. I'm sure race controls had an absolute nightmare in this racing tonight. We'll be working overtime into the early hours of the morning, reviewing all the replays. I'm glad I don't have that job. Yellow flags in sector 2. They clear quickly, so clearly just a spin. Just under 5 minutes to go then of this final. Still on board here with Maximin as they go through Oblivion. Here we go then. The most popular place for an overtake. Is it going to see a cheeky move down the inside? No, thinks against it. Holds that inside line. Doesn't go for it here. Again, another common one in towards Ashby. Again, thinks against it. Drivers are learning now. They're learning not to absolutely send one down the inside. Which is good to see. Treat it like you would treat your real kart. There you go, that's how you sim race. As I go through, 4 minutes to go then. Now looking down the inside here. Whoa, that's a bold place to do it in real life, and a bold place to do it in an eSports version as well. Maximum looking down the inside of Woodward through Pitts Bend, absolutely smacking that inside curb and going on 2 wheels. Taking the outside line here. Is he going to try and get the cut back? Can't quite do it. Woodward holds that position. Goes slightly defensive in towards Ashby. Suffers his exit. Maximum can get alongside, but was on the outside here for Wilkins, back on board. Looking down the inside here into Osiers. Oh, he leaves the door open. He leaves a small gap there, does Woodward. Closes it up again, though. Yellow's in sector 1. Again, clear quickly. So, all the meanwhile, Daniel Kellier has, well, broken away, really. 7.6 seconds clear is Daniel. Oh, and down the inside there goes Maximum at Christmas corner. It was a bold move, but Woodward has to concede the place. There's a replay of what happened there. So we're up into Christmas corner, yet down the inside. It was a very late lunge. Amazingly, managed to keep it on the track though, which is good. So Maximum up into 4th place, and now Woodward is under pressure from Whitehouse. Well, Foot has actually just managed to get past. So Whitehouse is a little further down the road, so Henry Foot managing to get that job done. 2 minutes on the timer then in this final. Kellier leading the way from Atkins, McClumpher. Maximum, Foot, Woodward, Whitehouse, Bell, Khan. Mark your top 10. A little further down the order, O'Shea's in 11th from Joe Shade in 12th. Ty Cuthbert's up into 13th place from Ronnie Smith. Max Marston in 15th place. Jorge Julian in 16th. Joe Booth in 17th. Kira Harris in 18th place. Guillaume Vasek has just moved down into 20th now, as Jordan Upton's pushed back up into 19th. Jordan Upton, who was leading heat number 2 for the majority of it, finding himself in 19th place at the moment. Jensen O'Neill going 21st place. Rens van Kulenberg in 22nd. Aaron Melberg in 23rd place. We've lost Theo Lestrange, we've lost Henry Dunkley, and we've lost Alex Fleming from this race. 3 DNFs. Back here with your race leader. It's going so fast now, actually lapping the field. Yeah, he's already managed to get past the 13 plate of Aaron Melberg. This is Rens van Kulenberg, who's now just been lapped. So Daniel having a good old race at the moment. Go up in towards Christmas corner. This is McClumpher that we're following at the moment. Okay, with your race leader. Gap still 7.5 seconds, fluctuating all the time. No one to battle against. And checker flag comes out then for Daniel Kellier. As he crosses the line, he'll take the final win. Atkins crosses, takes 2nd place. Maximum in 3rd, some another 7 seconds down the road. Close company with Foot, crosses the line. McClumford takes 4th place from Henry Foote. Woodward crosses in 6th place from Bell. Whitehouse will finish in 8th place from Khan. Barker rounding out the top 10. Rory O'Shea crosses in 11th place from Joe Shade. Ty Cuthbert at the end of that finishes in 13th place from Ronnie Smith. Max Marston, Jorge Julian in 16th place from Joe Booth. Kira Harris finished in 18th at the end of that one from John Nupton in 19th. Jensen O'Neill going in 20th place from Rens van Kulenberg. In 21st place, Aaron Melberg finishes in 22nd from William Vasek. And of course we lost those 3 drivers, Theo Lestrange, Henry Dunkley and Alex Fleming from that final. But what a final it was, dominated there by Daniel Kellier. And of course the rest of the drivers going through that one. Well, some may say carnage in the beginning of those races. I would say practice needed, I think, for some drivers in that one. But of course, Whilton Mill, a very tough circuit, but we've got tougher circuits coming up in this season as well. Of course, we head to Adria next. That will be coming up on April the 21st. So stay tuned for that one, of course. And just a few days after that, alphalive heads to Shellington for the British Champs, of course, on the 24th of April as well. So you get lots of karting coming up soon as well, with the championships getting underway. Well, thank you very much to everyone who did join us tonight. Thank you to everyone who commented on the live stream. Some of it not helpful information, but some of it was helpful information, so thank you very much. Huge congratulations to all the drivers out there as well, and a big thanks to alphalive and Tillotson T4 for putting the T4 eSports series together and bringing you this live action. I've been Anthony Jordan. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at the next round very soon.